Our next partner has a product I use literally every day. I started taking AG1 because I have a hard time sleeping at night. So what is the stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients helps support better sleep quality and recovery. It's one thing you can do every single day and costs you less than $3 a day. So it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/emerging. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/emerging to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
You heard the rest. Now here's the best. Stay Tuned Sports Podcast.
And hello there, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. It's your good friend Jimbo here. Back after a very good weekend and a happy start to the week, I guess, because we got football back. Yes, I know it's the Hall of Fame game, but it's something. You know, we had to go, 4 months, something like that, without football. I mean, we had the USFL. I mean, it was okay to hold us over, but let's be honest, the NFL is far more superior than anything else that's been put out there. But my weekend, at least for Friday, took my oldest out to a concert out in Jersey. Went to go see Mudvayne and Rob Zombie and Powerman 5000. Mudvayne was always a bucket list band of mine I wanted to go see. He was interested in Powerman 5000 until he got to see Mudvayne, and he really definitely was into it. But this is not a music podcast. This is a sports podcast. So, Jimbo, what are you talking about music for? But had a couple news stories break. One was today. I'm actually recording a little bit earlier. Recording today on Tuesday. Normally record Wednesdays, but Juan Soto has been traded from the Nationals to the Padres. We're going to talk a little bit about that. What does that mean for the Padres? As well as Deshaun Watson finally, possibly saga maybe over. It's 99% of the way over. But before we get into that, make sure you guys head over to staytunesports.net. So you could follow all of our social media accounts over there. It's right on the right hand side. Whenever I'm racing with the NSRA guys or TNR or the ARCA series that I race Tuesday nights, I'm going to be putting the links of the YouTube link right there, either on my Twitter or the Facebook. So you guys definitely want to follow and like all those so you get the notifications. And on the top part of the webpage is our merch tab. You could click that, go buy some hats, some shot glasses, t-shirts. Still got to fix the pint glass. It's been a hectic week last week. Well, this past week. So definitely going to start working on that. And if you want another avenue of a way to show support to the show, head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/stsports. It's most of the time people go there to buy coffee as a way to show their support to the whatever podcast I want as well. Mine is a beer because let's face it, I love alcohol, and especially with football coming up now, I'll be drinking a lot more of it depending on how Notre Dame plays and my Philadelphia Eagles. So kicking off the show, I want to talk just a little bit real quick about the NSRA League, the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series, which is back this Friday at Southern National. We were off last Friday, so there was no giveaway. I'm going to be showing up definitely this week, this Friday night, given the race. So we're gonna do another giveaway. It's been a couple weeks. So how this is gonna go down is you gotta watch the race over on 3 White TV Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and on lap 125, have to see what place I'm in at that time, and head over to the Podbean site or app, however you have it. Look for the Stay Tuned Sports Show podcast show, and under this comment section of this show, put what place I was in on lap 125, and I will send you a $25 Amazon gift card. Simple. It's that simple. I'll message you. We'll get all the details worked out, but on lap 125, what place I'm in during the race at Southern National on 3 White TV over on YouTube. As I said, coming onto this show, Deshaun Watson suspended 6 games. Sounds like the saga is, between him and the NFL is over. Kinda. Because now both the NFL and Deshaun Watson's team of lawyers have till Thursday morning, 9 a.m. to file an appeal if they don't agree with the suspension. Deshaun's team already came out and said that they're even before the suspension came out, already said they're just gonna take whatever it is, whatever the punishment is, and go with it. They have come out and said that they kind of obviously they don't agree with it, but they will respect it, and they think the NFL should respect it as well. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if the NFL decides to appeal this, it does not go back to the judge that heard this case. It goes to Roger Goodell. And we know how wonderful he is at being consistent with the suspensions. Once again, before the suspension came out a couple weeks ago, it was brought out that the NFL was looking for a minimum 1-year suspension. If you guys go over YouTube it, even probably go on NFL.com, their network page or whatever, when they had Good Morning Football, Kyle Brandt went on a rant, and I totally agree with him. I think 6 games is not enough. And there was one aspect of it that I didn't really think about. And when the judge came out with her ruling, she said that basically she had to figure out, was it a violent sexual conduct, or was it a non-violent? Deshaun used his celebrity status, player status, however you want to say it, to intimidate these women. Let's be honest, okay? And I'm sorry, I think something did happen. I don't think there was 30 women. Like Kyle Brandt said, the theory out there is these 30 women came together and said, hey, let's try to extort this guy for money. I doubt that. I highly doubt that. If it was 2, maybe 3, there'd be a little bit more legs to it, I would say. But come on, 30 women. And if you truly believe you are innocent, why would you come to an agreement with them to drop the case? That's my biggest thing there. I understand, it's a sealed document so that we can't see what Deshaun decided to admit to, or what the females have said in it. But if you truly believe you're innocent and didn't do anything wrong, why make the settlement? I mean, to me, it comes across as you're accepting that you were guilty. And as much as I think the NFL should appeal this and make the suspension longer. I don't think it's going to happen. Just because, one, look at Roger Goodell. He's very inconsistent with his suspensions. I mean, Jesus. Calvin Ridley gets suspended one full season for gambling $1,500. Whereas Deshaun or Ray Rice or Greg Hardy, they got suspended 6-8 games. So it's worse to gamble than to hit a woman. And you know what? If the NFL does not, like, this is their time to swing it back in their way to say, okay, you know what? We learned our lesson from the past. We were inconsistent. These players need to start learning boundaries and what's right and wrong, and start really hitting them in the pocket. Right now, if Deshaun stays at 6 games, he's going to lose $350,000 this year from his $1 or $2 million salary. You suspend him for the whole season, that's $2 million. Or $1.5 million, something like that. He has a very low base salary this year. Next year's when it jumps up there. You start taking that money away from them, they'll start smartening up. And there was also some, I guess if you want to call it clauses or things in there that says the only way after 6 games that Deshaun can be reinstated is if he follows these. And one of them was he can only go to massage therapists that the Cleveland Browns say for him to go to. He does not pick out his massage therapist any longer, which is smart, because now if he goes behind the Browns' back and gets his own therapist or whatever, or picks out his own therapist, he's gone. He's done. But if the Browns pick it, it's up to them to make sure Deshaun follows the rules. As well as he cannot get into any type of trouble with law enforcement over these next couple weeks. But I just don't think the NFL will pull the trigger to appeal it, because I think they want this done just as bad as Deshaun Watson wants it gone as well. And it's a shame if that does happen, because, for how bad baseball is right now, MLB, they got it right with Trevor Bauer. They set the precedent with the, the 1 or 2 years suspension. This was the NFL's chance to get right back on track, to have their suspensions and all that be more respectable. Right before I came on today, the Nationals traded Juan Soto to the Padres for a huge package. Nationals have the worst record in Major League Baseball, so obviously they were looking to rebuild, and Soto was basically the last player from the 2019 champion team. Everybody else left from free agency. Bryce Harper. Trying to remember some of the other players from that team, but Bryce Harper, Max Scherzer, Trey Turner, and the Padres gave up an 8-player, basically full of prospects, for Juan Soto and one other player. Juan Soto is a very young player. Just a few weeks back, he turned down a 15-year, $430 million contract. So, I mean, that right there showed that he wasn't happy with the team. He wasn't happy the way they were going. I don't know if he totally did it to say, you know what, I'm done with you, just get me out of here. I mean, that's a lot of money you're leaving on the table. But I think the nail in the coffin was when the Nationals made him fly commercial and not on the Nationals' private jet to the Home Run Derby. I think that was the final nail in the coffin. And now the Padres have probably the scariest 3 hitters in the league. Soto is going to be teamed up with Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado. Machado, who is probably 30, early 30s, still hitting very well like he did in Baltimore. Tatis is coming back from broken wrist, but they said he should be back within the next 2 weeks. And you put Soto, who's having just an awesome year. I mean, for how young he is already, he already has more walks and strikeouts. So that's kind of like Tony Gwynn type stats. He's already having like a Hall of Fame type career, so young in his career. And the National or the Padres have him for this year and next year. So just imagine if they could sign him long term, even if they give him 15 years, even if they give him the same exact contract. Again, I'm not sure what their salary space is or however it will go with baseball. But if they could sign him, I'm sure Manny still has a few years left on his contract. Tatis is another young player who just signed. You have a young team like that you could probably put a couple World Series together within the next 5, 6, 7 years. And just to show you how much an improvement this move is for the Padres, when it was announced about the trade, Caesar Sportsbook changed San Diego's odds of winning the World Series from plus 2,000 to a plus 800. I mean, that's huge. And as far as just winning a National League pennant, from plus 800 to plus 400, just because of one player. And not, I shouldn't say just because of one player. I mean, a very good player, a once-in-a-lifetime generation talent type player. Did they give up the farm? Yeah. Did they pay too much? I think the only way that you could say they paid too much is if they don't lock him up for long term. If come next year, they don't sign him up, they wasted their chance. And they're setting themselves back years because they gave up so much for him. So, I mean, right now, I want to say I like the move. But if you don't sign him, it wouldn't have been worth it because you got nothing in return now. But the next thing I am interested in is to see what kind of contract he would sign with the Padres, because Nationals, who are the worst team in MLB, try to make him sell his soul, basically 15 years, 430 million. I could see like a 10-year around that, 350, 400 million from the Padres. So the second half of the baseball season is going to start looking interesting. There's going to be some good battles heading into the playoffs. And I just wonder if the Padres will be there after this trade. So this last part of the show, I know it's not really sports related. Was going to try to get our buddy King on, but like I said, due to some circumstances, I wasn't able to get in touch with them to try to set it up. But me and him were talking over the weekend. We actually watched SummerSlam together, and we were actually going to talk about it on the show here. Maybe I'll, this weekend, maybe I'll try to do a show with him and get his opinions. But I'll tell you what, SummerSlam, this was the first one since Triple H and Stephanie McMahon took over. Vince McMahon retired. And it was my first pay-per-view I watched in I watched WrestleMania this past year, and it was okay. But I'll tell you what, this was the first pay-per-view I was very impressed with in years. And the only reason why I want to, like I said, want to watch is because Triple H and Stephanie took over. I want to see what type of product they put out there. But WrestleMania will be coming to the Lincoln Financial Field in 2024. So I got brush up. I got brush up on my characters here and storylines and stuff like that, because I want to go to that. Growing up, I was a huge wrestling fan, and the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match, one of the best I've seen in years. Brock coming out with a farming tractor, moving the ring with it, flipping Reigns off of it. Like, it was a good product. I'm very interested to see how the rest of it goes. Don't want to talk too much about it because, like I said, I want to try to get our good buddy King on here, who's a bigger wrestling fan than I am, and get his opinion on there. So that's definitely a segment that you're going to want to tune in for. Hopefully very soon when I get King on here and we talk sports and everything else that we used to talk about. So I think that's going to be it for this week. Don't forget to check us out Friday night, Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series over on 3Y TV, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I think it's going to be a fun race. It's going to be a short track. Not sure if there's going to be fireworks or not. I'm going to do my best to stay clean, try to keep the truck as straight as possible, and not get dinged up too much. I think that's going to be the key to finishing in a good place. But head over to staytunesports.net so that way you can follow the social media accounts, get the notifications about when the link is up, and you guys could join the YouTube link that way, as well as merchandise is there. Head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/STSports. Just another way to show your support for the show. And I think that's it. I know it's a quick show. I want to talk about the Deshaun Watson story, Juan Soto. We got Jacksonville. We got the Raiders Thursday night. Yes, I know it's just a Hall of Fame game, but hey, it is football. I'm excited. You should be excited. It's a good time of the year.